Hello and welcome. You're tuned into Market Fatafat with me, Ankita Saxena, and with me is Snehi Shah. And this is the show where we take you through all the stocks that are buzzing away in trade, either on the back of news flow or on the back of research. But first up, let's take stock of how the markets are shaping up. In fact, a sharp recovery coming in from the day's lows. In fact, in the last 1 hour, we've seen this spike up in Nifty. We're above those 24,600 levels on the Nifty. Even Nifty Bank is seeing a sharp uptick. In fact, Nifty is already above its 50 DMA and a good recovery coming in the markets today.
Absolutely, very stellar recovery. Hi there, good afternoon. Let's take a look at how the markets are panning out right now, and very stellar recovery coming in from the Nifty. You had Nifty that had actually slipped below 24,300 just a few hours ago today. And look at that sharp spike coming in. That's Nifty Bank. Let's pull up Nifty and take a look at where Nifty has settled right now. It's above that 24,600 mark right now, looking comfortable over there. Very sharp spike coming in just a couple of hours ago, 0.6% higher and more than 1.3% higher from the day's lowest point. Nifty Bank also, like Ankita mentioned, very stellar moves coming in, another 1.3% recovery coming in from the day's lowest point as well. 0.5% higher on the spot is where Nifty Bank is. Broader markets, they seem to be doing pretty well right now. Let's pull up a Nifty mid-cap and see what the mid-cap pack is doing. 0.3% uptick coming in. So it's, in fact, the broader market seem to be underperforming the benchmark small cap. 0.8% uptick. So that's the index that's been outperforming all its peers. Quickly taking a look at what the sectoral gainers and losers look like. Remember, the first half of the day, on the back of that BOFA note, you already only had IT that was in the green. However, IT continues to be the top sectoral gainer, 1.5% uptick coming there. But the likes of FMCG, metal, PSU banks, energy, auto have now managed to tip over to the green. However, realty continues to be your biggest loser, followed by Nifty, media and pharma. So that's how the day is shaping up to be like. Very stellar recovery coming in.
Alright, let's get started with all the buzzes in trade and why they are in focus today. And for that, let's get Ashish Kyal, who's the founder and CEO of Wave Strategy Advisors, joining us on the technical charts. And from a research team, we're joined by Gaurav. Hi, good afternoon to the both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get started with all the stocks then. Now, well, we'll first pick Torrent Pharma, as the company has acquired 3 brands from Germany's GmbH company that has entered into an agreement to acquire brands called Cospike Met and Zilingio from GmbH, and of course the acquisition is expected to be completed by the March of 2025. Torrent has been marketing these brands since 2022 as a part of the existing co-marketing agreement with GmbH India, but from now on they've entered into agreement for these 3 brands as well. But on the back of that, Torrent Pharma it has given up those morning gains, but nonetheless trading flat in the green.
Okay, so well, that is Torrent Pharma, trading rather flat. Ashish, hi, welcome to the show. You've picked out PCBL for us on the charts. Tell us what the outlook is when you take a look at this, because if I pull up the charts, last 6 months the stock has more than doubled. In fact, very stellar moves coming in. Tell us, do you see this rally sustaining going ahead as well, or time for some consolidation, some slowdown on the stock now?
See, if you look at the overall movement, we can clearly see a very strong rise in PCBL, and the stock has been showing a stellar move over past 2 weeks after forming a low around 380 levels. So the overall trend for PCBL looks to be positive. We can expect a move towards the level of around 520 on the upside. On the downside, one can maintain a stop loss of 449 for the stock.
Well, that's PCBL on the charts. That's the view coming in. But let's talk about 2 big buzzers in today's trade, the stocks that have actually been garnering all the attention on the street today, and that's Vodafone Idea as well as Indus Towers. Now remember, before market opened, Indus Towers had 3% of its equity trade in 6 blocks today. So that block deal has already happened, and Vodafone Group PLC had announced the sale of its remaining 3% stake in Indus Towers Limited for 2,836 crores. The partial proceeds from the sale will be used to repay Vodafone Idea's borrowings, and on the back of that, Vodafone Idea also in focus, currently trading with pressure of 4%. Now, Vodafone Idea also in focus on the back of the news flow that the board is going to be mulling fundraising on the 9th of December up to an extent of 2,000 crores. So now if there's a stake sale coming in, why is Indus Towers doing pretty well? It's 1.5% higher. Here's why. Now, from Vodafone stake sale, Vodafone PLC, not Vodafone Idea, Vodafone PLC will balance the 3% stake in Indus Towers. The stake sale is expected to fetch 2,836 crores, of which 855 crores will be used by Vodafone PLC to repay its debt. The balance of 1,981 crores will be infused into Vodafone Idea by Vodafone PLC, and Vodafone Idea will then use this fund to pay its overdues with Indus Towers. This will bring down Indus's receivables to close to 1,500 crores, which means the stake sale is going to actually be used to repay Indus Towers itself. So all that money is going to flow back into that stock. So that stock is holding up pretty smartly, 1.6% higher.
All right, moving on to the charts. IGL, Indraprastha Gas, is what you've picked out for us. There's a news flow also coming in. We'll talk about that. But for now, on the charts, IGL has been in a consolidation mode for a fairly long time, like almost 6 odd months. From here on, where do you see this? Do you see the stock moving up now, Ashish?
Yes, in fact, if you look at IGL, we can clearly see the stock is now trying to fill the gap which was created, and the up move is with a very strong momentum, and it has been also along with good volume. So that's a very positive sign. The up move is associated with good volumes also. So the overall trend for IGL is going to be positive. We can expect the stock to continue to move on the upside towards the level of around 420. That can be the target, and on the downside, one can maintain a stop loss of 368 levels.
IGL, but Gaurav, you've picked out RailTel for us. Tell us what's the news flow and what the stock is doing right now.
Well, yes, RailTel is in focus, and the reason being that now the company has received an order from GAIL for MPSL and point-to-point lease line links, and the order is worth 10.6 crore rupees. Now the catch here is that the order is going to get completed in the next 3 months, so definitely we will see some kind of cash inflows coming up in the company in FY25 itself. But other than that, when we talk about RailTel, the company has been strong in terms of fundamentals. In the last month itself, the company has won an order worth 210 crore rupees. So first, in the likes of North, the order received from Northern Railway worth 10 crore rupees. Company also received an order from Employee Provident Fund worth 170 crore rupees. And on back of this, when we talk about fundamentals, it seems that RailTel has a very strong order book, and they are going to execute that order book as well. Apart from that, when we talk about stock performance in the last month, we have seen RailTel actually giving only 2% returns, but in the last 6 months, we have seen this company giving 16% returns, and it is also trading way below its 52-week high level. So definitely on the back of the fundamentals and the new order win, it is worth watching out on what happens in RailTel in coming days.
All right, moving on to you, Ashish. You picked out a Triveni turbine for us. Now, this one's been giving good returns. In fact, it has really started moving up in the last 1 month. Do you see the positive momentum to continue from here on?
See, if you look at the overall movement of the stock, we can clearly see that has been a positive trend on Triveni, and the overall outlook is bullish for the stock. We can also expect the move on the upside towards the level of around 820, and on the downside, one can maintain a stop loss of around 690 levels for the stock.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on Triveni turbine on the charts. But in our 10th edition of India Economic Conclave, you will see a whole host of speakers from across the sector speaking on various topics that will help India fast track to top 3. We have more than 50 plus speakers who will be sharing their thoughts on the stage of IEC. Jim O'Neill is a globally renowned economist and is celebrated for coining the BRICS acronym. A visionary strategist, he has profoundly influenced global economic policy and investment strategies. O'Neill continues to shape discussions on emerging markets, sustainable growth, and the future of global economic leadership.
So far this decade, partly because of China's challenges, India is already the second largest marginal contributor to global growth after the US, and it's on reasonable course for becoming the third largest sometime in the next decade, which of course was one of the many projections that made the BRIC acronym. When I come to the Times Network India Economic Conclave, I'm looking forward to discussing the structural challenges that India still needs to try and do more on to make sure it is guaranteed that India will become the third largest economy in the world in the next decade or so.
And well, not only Jim O'Neill, but also Randy Zuckerberg, who's the founder and CEO of Zuckerberg Media, will also be speaking at the IEC. Now, Randy had played an important role in building Facebook with her brother Mark Zuckerberg. Randy, co-founder of HUG, an inclusive Web3 artist platform that supports artists entering the NFT space by providing discovery tools, educational programs, and networking opportunities. At the IEC, Randy will be speaking on how AI will change the future of humanity. Welcome back. You're tuned into Market Fatafat, where we are taking you through all the stocks that are in focus today. Let's get going with all the stocks that are in focus. Then, Hero Moto is a name that is, is buzzing in trade today. It has given up those morning gains. In fact, it is trading absolutely flat with cuts of 0.1%. But Hero Moto Corp has introduced a new V2 series of electric scooters. It has launched 3 variants of Vida V2. The price range is from 96,000 to 1.35 lakhs, and they've entered the mass segment through this, with the subcategory also with a 1 lakh rupee price. Also, the removable batteries for enhanced convenience and efficiency is something that Hero Moto is promising with this bike. But the reason why this stock is declining is because UBS has maintained its sell, and the target price they have given is 3,430 rupees. They feel that the launches like Vida V2 with smaller battery variants, the lower price EV might aid Hero to gain some market share, but introduction of new variant with competitive pricing might further aggravate their losses as well. So that's the word coming in from UBS, and they're maintaining their sell. On the back of that, we see the cuts coming in on Hero Moto today.
Okay, so that's Hero Moto trading under slight pressure on the back of that sell rating coming in. But Ashish, moving on then, you've picked out Max Healthcare for us on the charts. Last 6 months, 30% return is what the stock has given. Tell us what's the outlook going ahead as well.
See, Max Healthcare, if you look at it, the stock has shown a very strong rise even in today's session, and over past few days also the stock has moved from 980 lows to the levels of 1120. So the overall trend for Max Healthcare is going to be positive. We can expect the stock to move towards the level of around 1150 on the upside, and over short term one can maintain a stop loss of around 1060 level, which is below today's low.
Levels to watch out for on Max Health. Let's talk about Divi's Labs then, and this stock has been in focus because the latest commentary coming in from the company is that the company cannot comment on any patent lawsuits of big pharma companies and its impact. Now let me give you some context here. The US appeal court said that Novartis cannot block generic of best-selling heart drug Entresto, and earlier in October, a federal judge rejected Novartis Pharmaceuticals' motion to declare that as unlawful, and the FDA's approval of a rival version of its heart failure drug Entresto. Now, how does all of this impact Divi's Labs? And this is from the Kotak report that we have seen this morning. Divi's has a CDMO contract with Novartis, and Entresto is one of the largest drugs in Divi's CDMO portfolio. Entresto contributes 8% and 19% of Divi's overall sales and overall CDMO sales respectively for FY24. Approval to Entresto's generic can lead to around 10% downside for EPS for Divi's for FY26-27. This is Kotak's view coming in. So this is how the entire Novartis matter is connected to Divi's Labs. On the back of that, this stock is lower by 3.2%.
All right, with that, it's time for a quick breather. You don't go anywhere. After the break, we're getting you lots more stocks that are in action.